everyone. So we are trying out some new products today. Some drugstore, some higher end. So if you're curious to see what products those are, let's get into it. So it feels like it's been like a hot minute since I have sat down and done a makeup video for you. But I'm really excited for some of these products that I'm going to be trying today. One is a brand new foundation that just came out, like it launched last week. So I'm super excited for that. I've got some new eyeshadow. I've got some more complexion products that I want to try out. So we're just jumping right into it. So the first product we're going to try today is the Makeup by Mario. This is the Surreal Foundation. This retails for $55 Canadian, but I love the Makeup by Mario products. The quality of his products are fantastic. He is a professional makeup artist, so he knows what he's doing. I think I could probably, now that I have the foundation, I could probably do a full face video just using his products because I think I have pretty much everything. The only thing I don't think he has out is a concealer, but hopefully he comes out with one soon. Now I picked up this in the shade 2N. I'm not sure if it might be a little tad on the light side. It comes in 30 shades, which is not, not a bad shade range. And this is supposed to give you like a natural finish. You can build it up. It's supposed to be long wearing, hydrating. Some of the people that I have seen use the product, they really like it. So that's why I am super looking forward to trying this out. So it comes as a nice pump dispenser. And I prefer those the most. I'm just going to put like one pump. I think we'll start off with that first. So it looks like that. It's not like an overly runny type of foundation. For application today, I'm going to go in with the BK Beauty 106 foundation brush. Now I have not applied anything to my face other than my skincare products like my moisturizer, my sunscreen. That's all that I have on my face. Oh, and then I also did my eyebrows. I didn't have any like new eyebrow pencils, so I just went ahead and did that off camera. So what I'll do is I'll do the one side first, and then we'll see the comparison of how like light coverage this is. So I can see it is a lighter shade, but my skin is so dry right now. And if you've wondered where I've been, it was just such an extremely busy December for me with my regular job. If you're like one of my longtime viewers, you know that I have a full-time job outside of YouTube. YouTube I just kind of do on the weekends, but it was just so crazy busy at work. So I just did not have the amount of time that I wanted to film. And then for Christmas, we didn't think my son, he lives across the country back east. We didn't think he was going to be able to come home for Christmas just in the nature of his job. And he surprised us. He surprised us by coming home. We were over the moon thrilled. So needless to say that I wanted to spend like quality time with him. We don't get to see him a lot. So I just wanted to spend some quality time with him. And that kind of pushed back some of my filming. But I hope you guys all understand. If there's one thing about me is my family always comes first before anything. So I just wanted to, like I said, spend some quality time with him. So this shade, I'm going to say, is just a little bit on the lighter side, but for my skin tone, I'd rather go lighter than too dark. Too dark is a little bit harder to work with and if the shade isn't right, but at least when something is a little bit lighter, you can kind of work with that. You can apply some bronzer to kind of warm it up. And what I do is I just stipple it on, and I just always make sure to run it down my neck as well. And that way everything looks seamless. So as you can see, so this is the one side that I did. That was just the one pump. I think it's done a nice job of covering up some of my like my hyperpigmentation. My cheeks are a little bit red today. I did exfoliate this morning in the shower, so my face always gets a little bit red after I do that. But you can clearly see like this side has some nice coverage to it. It's giving me some luminosity. So far it's not like doing any settling into my fine lines. So far so good. What I will do is at the end of the night, I will assess what it looks like, and I will leave like an update in the description box for you. But yeah, so far I think it looks really nice. So I really do like the luminosity it's given me. Very beautiful, like very beautiful on the skin. Like I said, I'm going to warm it up with some bronzer and some blush and that sort of stuff, but it looks beautiful. Like, I think this is giving me a really nice coverage. It feels very lightweight on the face. It really did blend in like effortlessly. I like how you can also like, you can layer it or shear it out. When you're using a brush, it is going to give you a little bit more coverage than using a sponge. Like I usually use my e.l.f. sponge, and I'll just sort of tap the rest of it in, make sure that the brush that there's no like brush strokes or anything like that left over. But definitely giving me the luminosity. You can see that probably in this area here. That's very luminous. So I'm just gonna leave it. I don't know whether I'm gonna add any powder yet. We'll see. And when I test out a foundation, I don't usually use like any sort of primer or anything like that before I apply it. I just want to see how the foundation is going to work on its own. This does say that it works well with powders and creams, so any other products that I'm going to apply should work well, and it is not supposed to oxidize, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. The shade, with it being a little bit lighter, I probably wouldn't mind it oxidizing just a little bit, but we'll see how it works out. And something I forgot to mention is not everything is going to be like higher end. I do have drugstore products incorporated into this. So I just off camera, I quickly went through, and because I didn't have any new concealer or anything, I just used my NYX, the Bear With Me Concealer Serum. So that is what I applied under my eyes. But the new product that I want to try out is by Rare Beauty. So this is the Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. Now, what people are stressing is that this isn't a concealer. You apply this over top of your concealer, and it's supposed to brighten your under eye area up. So I was quite curious to see how this would work. I've seen, good and bad about it, but I always like to test out a product on my own. I picked this up in the shade Light. I'm not sure if I picked it up too light because it's quite, like in the packaging, you can see it's quite light. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to shake it up. I don't want to look like a ghost under that, but it has a very unique applicator. So it has it's like like a cooling wand. So that's like a metal piece. So I'm going to just try and get a little bit more product on it. So that's about, even dipping in the second time, that's about as much as I can get on there. And you're supposed to just put a few drops. So I'm just going to put like 3. So I'm just going to take my ring finger and tap it in. Definitely giving me like a brighter under eye. You can see that it's brightened my under eye area up. Some of the other claims are it's a good product for a no makeup look. So this is supposed to visibly reduce dark circles and discoloration for a refreshed, fast look. It does come in 6 shades. It's supposed to last all day, and from what it says, it's not supposed to crease, cake, or settle into fine lines. They did an independent consumer study of 57 people. 96% said it applied evenly and blended seamlessly. 96% said the skin looked smoother. And 94% said it instantly reduced the look of dark circles. So it's a light coverage. It is vegan. It's hydrating, radiant finish, has no parabens. This does retail for $31 Canadian. But yes, I would definitely say this is no way in shape or form a concealer. If you have really, really dark circles, like I can see there is a little bit of my dark circles poking through. But what it has done is hydrated my under eyes. Like, my under eyes look extremely hydrated right now and quite luminous, actually. But definitely I can see just a little bit of the darkness peeking through. So we'll keep an eye on that. I love her, like the Rare Beauty. There's, products that I've had hit and misses with her products. Her liquid blush is really, really good. There is her bronzer stick, like her contour stick. I really like that. Her lipstick. So I do like quite a few products from her. Test this out and see how it works by the end of the tutorial. And what I'll do also is leave the update on this, whether it does do any creasing and that sort of thing. I'll leave that with my thoughts on the foundation in the description box. Now, I recently had a company reach out and send me a few of their products, and that company was Alter Ego. So if you've never heard of Alter Ego, they create eyeshadow palettes, they have lipsticks, they do hair extensions, but they sent me some of their eyeshadow palettes. It was so, so generous of them, and thank you very much, Alter Ego. So they sent me these 3 here. So one is called a Shadow Kiss. One is the Canyon, and one is Harmony. And then they also sent me two more. One is called Luster and Armistice. Now these are absolutely stunning, stunning eyeshadow palettes. I can't use them all today. I'm only going to use one, but I will have these in an upcoming video. Look at the color story on that. It is just gorgeous. And they do come with like a nice mirror as well. This is Luster. And what this reminds me of actually is like a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. So that is just stunning. What they also are known for is they do a really good job of, I'm going to say, recreating or mimicking a lot of the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. So this one here, so this is the Harmony palette, but it is quite close to the retro eyeshadow palette. And what I'll do is I'll stick a picture here of the retro Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. I don't have a lot of Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. They are on the pricier side. I really pick and choose what eyeshadow palettes I want to spend my money on. And then I'll put this one here, and then I'll also stick up a picture of the retro, and you can see how similar they are. And then this is the color story for Canyon. Now Canyon is very, very similar to the Natasha Denona bronze palette. Beautiful, beautiful shades. But the one that I'm going to be using the most today is Shadow Kiss. And this one is quite identical to the Glam eyeshadow palette. The color stories are very, very similar. Now what I am going to do is I have one of the Natasha Denonas. I do have this one here. So she has like a ton of like little mini eyeshadow palettes. This is her mini Glam palette. So I'm going to show you some of these shades here, but how they are quite comparable. If they are like a dupe for the Natasha Denona. And then I also have, this is the Glam Face palette. This came out, I believe it was last year, but it looks like that. And there is a shade in here that I think is quite comparable to another shade in the Shadow Kiss palette. They were also generous enough to send me the Alter Ego. This is the eyeshadow base. So I'm going to use that on my to prep my eyelids. And what's nice about Alter Ego is they are really affordable. So this eyeshadow base, when I looked on the website, this is like only $4 for an eyeshadow base. Very creamy formula. I do like using like an eyeshadow base. It really does help your eyeshadows stay on throughout the day and prevents it from creasing. And then what we'll use at the end of the video is they sent me a collection of their liquid lipsticks. So they sent me 6 shades of the liquid lipstick. So like I said, they were super, super generous, and I thank them so much for sending these products along. So as I was going through and playing with some of the shades and seeing if I could find some really good dupes for you guys, I found a few of them actually. So in the Glam palette, this shade right here, which she uses in the crease, is very similar. Alter Ego Shadow Kiss palette. There's this shade right here called Vanish. And I'll show you, I swatched it for you on the back of my hand. You can see how they look almost identical. This one right here is the Natasha Denona. And then this one here is the Alter Ego. The Natasha Denona, I'm going to say, has more like a tiny bit of richness to it, like a more of a richer brown. But for the comparison, like very, very similar. So what I'm going to do is apply the one shade on the one side and the other shade on the other side. And oh, I forgot to mention, like these palettes, like this one here is only $17 American. Like that is super affordable if you're looking for a great eyeshadow palette that has like I like really, really like the color story on this one. I think it's beautiful. So we're going to go in with different brushes. One side, I'll use the BK Beauty, the 201. This is just like a fluffy brush. And then on the other side, we'll use the Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the 503. This is just another type of brush, but I don't want to be mixing the brushes up. So on this side, we're going to go in with the Alter Ego Shadow Kiss. I can feel that eyeshadow, the primer, like the Alter Ego eyeshadow base that they sent me. It has a little bit of tackiness to it, so that will hopefully adhere for the eyeshadow to adhere a little bit better. So I'm just going to go all over the eyelid with that. So that's the one eye done. And then on the other eye, I'm going to go in with the Natasha Denona. What I do know about Natasha Denona shades are they are very pigmented, but you can see the Alter Ego one was pigmented as well, like it's deposited a nice amount of color. Now the next shade I'm going to go in with to do like the outer V part of my eye, I did find a very similar, I'm not going to say it's an exact dupe, but it's very, very similar. So in the Alter Ego Canyon palette, there is this shade right here. It's called Expanse. It's a dark, like a chocolate brown. But the one that I found was very, very similar is in the little Natasha Denona mini palette. This brown right here is called Seed. So on this side, that is the Alter Ego, and this side is the Natasha Denona. Like I said, not exactly the same. This one has more, the Alter Ego has more of like a, maybe like a cooler shade, like an undertone to it. But you know what? They are very similar. So I'll put those on my eyes as well. I'm just going to go in with the BK Beauty. This is the 203 brush just to keep them separate. Okay, so this is the Alter Ego. And I'm just applying it right on the outer part. And then on this side, we're going to go in with the Natasha Denona. This is just the Angie Hot and Flashy 502 brush. It's more of like a detailer brush, but we're going to go in on the corner here. Just from application, I will say that the Natasha Denona are a little bit more like pigmented, but the Alter Ego is doing a really good job as well. So if I come up a little bit closer to you guys, you can see like they look identical. Like as I'm looking in the viewfinder, really, really similar. Very, very similar. That's actually quite amazing. And I like how just the Alter Ego is just so much more affordable than the Natasha Denona. Because this one here, the little mini palette, I believe this retails for about $33 just for this, like these 5 eyeshadow shades. So now the 2 shades that I'm going to apply, they have more of a shimmer. So this will be kind of the last shades that I'm going to apply. So from the Alter Ego Shadow Kiss palette, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's called Cloak. And it is very, very identical to this shade here by Natasha Denona. This is a shade right here. It's called Golden Flesh. And then I did swatch it. So you can see right here. So the top one is the Natasha Denona and the bottom one is the Alter Ego. But look at how similar those are. Oh my goodness, you guys. They have kind of a goldy undertone to them. A hint of the Alter Ego has maybe just a hint of like a pinkness to it. But my goodness, those are so, so similar. So I will apply Cloak. I'm going to just use my finger. I find that sometimes is the best way to apply shimmers, at least on my eyelids. So I'm just going to take it and like, oh my goodness, that is so pigmented. Holy smokes. Like, look at how pigmented it is. And then on the other side, I'm going to take the retro palette. I will say, surprisingly, on the Natasha Denona side, I actually had like a little bit of fallout, which is sometimes harder to clean up when you have that little glitter fallout on the bottom of your eye, but I didn't get any with the Alter Ego. So these are the eye, that's the eye look completed. But boy, oh boy, you guys, look at how similar that looks. That's quite amazing. So what I did was I also swatched just a couple of other shades that I found were very comparable in this same, like the Shadow Kiss palette. So I'll show the shades that I swatched. This shade right here is called Fog. And I found it was a very, very similar product, Natasha Denona. This is called Anja. And swatched for you, this top one is the Alter Ego. And the one right below it is the Natasha Denona. So look at how very similar. The Alter Ego maybe has a bit of a browner undertone to it, but very, very similar. And then the other two that I found is this shade right here on the corner. It's a shimmer shade. It's called Zeal. And the comparison one is this shade right here. It's called Faye in the Natasha Denona. And I swatched them here for you. So the swatch here is the top one is the Alter Ego, and the bottom one is the Natasha Denona. So this one, I would say that the Natasha Denona has maybe a little bit more richness to it, but for texture and like shade match, very, very similar. So I don't really have a lot of new products to do the rest of my eyes. I don't have like mascaras or anything like that. So I'm going to quickly go off camera, do my eyes, and I will be right back and we'll try out some new products for the complexion. All right, eyes are done. I will have everything linked and listed down below for you guys of everything that I put on. But just to quickly show you, I put on my Lancome Le Crayon Kohl in the shade Black Coffee, one of my favorite eyeliners. Then I went in tight lined with the L'Oreal Le Liner. Use that for tight lining, favorite pencil for that. I went in with my bottom waterline. It's a really nice subtle color, but it just kind of gives you that, it's not like a stark white, but it's not like a really creamy beige color. It's just a very nice neutral color. And that is the Sephora 12-Hour Color eyeliner, and this is in the shade Coconut. And then for mascara, I went in with the Ilia. Love this mascara. It's just a little sample size I got, but I absolutely love it. I'm going to go get a full size of this one. And then I just threw on some Ardell natural lashes, favorite lashes. Now this product I did pick up a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to do like a first impression with you guys because I was super excited when I saw it in the store. Physicians Formula had some new products come out, and I didn't know that they were coming out. I just happened to be walking in the store and saw a display of them. So this is the one product. I'm going to have some of the other products in another video, but this is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Liquid Bronzer. Ooh. I love liquid bronzers. I love like more like liquid cream products. I think that they do just a really nice job on the face, on mature skin. They just don't settle into fine lines like powders do, and just gives it some luminosity, especially like if you have dry skin like me. It really helps my complexion. So was super excited to try this out when I saw it. This is the box. That's what it looks like. You know that I like to give you the down low on it. So it's an incredible liquid bronzer that adds instant warmth to your everyday look, leaving your skin illuminated and hydrated for a natural looking sun-kissed glow. So what you can do with this product is you can wear it alone, you can wear it under your makeup, or you can wear it, as I'm going to do it, as a bronzer and just naturally enhance my skin tone. So let's give this a try. It just comes like as a squeezy tube. So I don't know how dark this is going to be. Okay, yeah, it's very liquidy. It looks super brown right now. So I'm just, you know what, I'm just going to use this same foundation brush that I used. And what I'm going to do is I'm gently going to apply. Okay, so it does blend in nice. That's just it. So I've just blended it out on the back of my hand. Gently put it on my cheek where I would normally put bronzer. Work my way up like around my top of my forehead. I always like to do a bit of contouring up here. Oh, this really does warm up the complexion. Holy smokes. Isn't that gorgeous though? I didn't want to add too much to like this foundation. So far, I will say I am really liking the foundation. It looks quite nice and luminous. But like I said, I'm using a very, very light hand. That probably was like the right amount for me to add. This is really, really nice. Oh, I really like this. This looks gorgeous. Wow. And I find the shade, even as I'm like blending it into the back of my hand, like it's just that perfect shade. It's not too orange. It's not like a gray shade. It's just beautiful. Okay, so I probably went a little bit too heavy-handed in the bronzer, but look at this. I look like I've been like to Hawaii. Oh my goodness, you guys, that is fabulous. I love it. That is great. Oh my good, like, and I mean, I still have a bunch on my hand. Like, I probably just could have, you know, done like with a little dab of it. Wow, that is beautiful. So I can see now why they say you could really wear this like under your foundation. So if you put that on first and then put your foundation, it would just give you a really healthy looking glow. But that's lovely. I love it. That's awesome. Great, great product. Now I did pick up a new blush. Now it's not new to the market, it's new to me. I have had one other shade of this one, but this one is one that was recommended by Ellie Glines. I love watching her. She's a fellow content creator, if you're not familiar with her, but absolutely love her. So I picked up, it's the Milani This is the Rose Powder Blush. I have this in the shade Coral Cove. She said that this is one of her favorite blushes and one of her favorite shades. So I thought I would give it a try. It probably looks a little bit scary in the pan. It's quite a brilliant, like a peachy coral shade. But I think it looks simply beautiful. So I'm just going to go in with my BK Beauty 107. This is just a blush brush. And yes, I am mixing, creams and powders and stuff. I always like to see how products are going to work and, if they live up to the claims of, it's not going to pick the product up and stuff. So I'm just going to gently tap this in. I try not to go too heavy-handed in blushes, but since I have so much of that bronzer on right now, but that is a really, really pretty shade. That's gorgeous. Now, I think I'm going to skip highlighter today. Just looking at my complexion of how luminous that foundation, and then plus that the bronzer now with that, because it is called a butter glow. I think I can go without highlighter today. I don't know about you guys, but can you see how luminous my skin looks? It's amazing. So we're gonna just skip right on into the lipstick portion. We're gonna go in with the Alter Ego. So these are all the shades that they sent me. I'm not going to swatch them all just because I am going to have them in another video. I'll show them in some other videos. But the one that intrigued me was one that's called Crush. I will swatch this one. It looks like it's a really pretty pink shade. I mean, the packaging, look at this packaging. This is just gorgeous. This whole collection of matte, they are a matte liquid lipstick, is on sale for $18. That's on their site, so American price. But holy smokes, what a good deal. $18 for 6 liquid lipsticks? Oh my goodness, that is great. And the packaging is just so pretty. Look at the packaging on that. Gorgeous. It almost gives me Huda Beauty vibes. So that's the shade right there. It's just like a normal wand. It'll go okay with what I'm doing, but yeah, see, it's a beautiful pink shade. Oh my goodness, it's like a fuchsia. So I'm not going to use any sort of lip liner. I like how this is very precise. Look at how beautiful that shade ended up being. It looks a little bit different on the lip than when I swatched it. It has more of like a burgundy kind of redness to it, so I absolutely love it. It feels very comfortable on the lip, even though it's matte, and it doesn't feel drying at all. I do want to add just a little bit of gloss to it. I like more of I like my lips to have just a little bit of shine to them. So we're going to go in with the Maybelline. This is just a lifter gloss in the shade Pearl. And all I do is I just put a little bit in the center. And that just kind of makes your lips look a little bit fuller. And I'm really happy with that shade. It looks really nice. I'm super impressed with a bunch of these products. If you remember, this side is the Alter Ego eyeshadow, and this side was the Natasha Denona side. But if you look really, really closely, they look so similar. It's quite remarkable. So really happy. Thank you so much, Alter Ego, again for sending me the products. I can't wait to play with a few more of them. The foundation, I think, is doing, like I mentioned to you, I think it's doing a really lovely job. I love the luminosity, really, really like the luminosity. And I didn't use any powder. I wanted to see, how it's going to wear throughout the day. Like I mentioned, I will leave everything down in the description box of how the foundation wore. And then the only other product I'm going to kind of play around with is this Rare Beauty, the illuminator under my eyes. I just want to see if it's going to work differently with different concealers, or I've seen some people put it underneath the concealer, but the brightness didn't, the brightening power of it didn't work as well. It's more designed to put on top of your concealer. So I definitely want to see how that works, but it did give me, if you can see, my under eyes do look a lot brighter and a little bit more hydrated than they usually do. I think I have found a new love in this Physicians. I hope it's not a limited edition. It doesn't say anything about being a limited edition. I think it's just a new product. So I hope they keep this, because this just gave me that holy smokes. I am definitely have some bronzer and illuminating. So next time I'm just going to use like a tiny drop and use it that way. But absolutely in love with this product here. Really like the Alter Ego, this lipstick. Like I said, it's very comfortable. I'm not feeling any dryness right now on it. Sometimes when I've put a liquid lipstick on and then within 5 minutes, my lips are just like any moisture has been sucked out of them. So I can't wait to use some more of these shades, but really, really like this one. This is beautiful. I think it kind of complements the eye look. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to consider subscribing to my channel and be a part of my world here on YouTube. Just make sure to hit that notification bell that's right beside it, and that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos. Oh, I was going to say a special mention to my new Facebook friends. I have a whole bunch of new followers over on my Facebook, my Facebook channel page. What I was going to ask is, like, I actually have quite a few followers there. If you guys haven't done so already, if you've just followed me on my Facebook page, please head over to my YouTube channel and subscribe to me there. The only reason I say that is because, like I mentioned before, I work a full-time job, so I only can usually upload on the weekends, and then sometimes I schedule my video. And that's the thing about YouTube, is I can actually schedule my video. It doesn't matter if I'm working or not, and it can upload at a certain time. So that's why sometimes you'll see me upload, like sometimes it's like a Tuesday morning, that sort of thing. But the unfortunate thing is I can't do that on my Facebook. I have to do my Facebook post in real time. What happens is you may not get the notification right away because I can't upload that Facebook post right away, especially if I'm working. So it may be like quite a while, like it could be several hours, or it could be like a full day before I can actually get my post up onto my Facebook. Long story short, so if you want to be notified right away of my video going up, head over to my YouTube channel, subscribe to me there, and then that way you're notified as soon as my video goes up. You'll get that notification. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. That also helps my channel out a lot. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!